Hey everybody, it's Commander Clay. Welcome back to yet another patch notes reading. Today we are going to be looking at Roundtable 9.6. The update that of course includes the new Arthurian god LANCELOT. There he is with all his stubble and his horse. And of course, not wasting time, we have abilities here. This is his passive. Camelot's quest. Lancelot receives 1 stack for a god kill / assist and 1 stack for every minion killed. Max 60. While mounted, each stack provides increased movement speed. While unmounted, each stack provides reduced basic attack damage received from directly in front. So behind him, he gets standard damage. And to his side, apparently. I mean, that's interesting. I guess he does have a shield. So that makes sense. They're using the lore and the way he fights to dictate how the passive works. So it's 0.2% movement per stack and 0.2% basic attack reduction. And now I don't know if these, I guess these stacks don't expire, right? So you get 1 stack for every 5 minion kills. Okay, yeah, so this is intended to be a permanent stat buff. Okay. Piercing thrust. Lancelot does a quick dash and thrust forward with his lance. He deals damage to enemies in his path and those hit by the extending lance. If he hits an enemy, he may dash again within 3 seconds. So this is basically Achilles 3, except there's a time limit. Which Achilles, I don't remember if it has one or not, but it's definitely much longer than this, than 3 seconds. Damage is 60 up to 240 plus 65%. I don't know if that's for 1 hit or 2 hits. It may just be... Wait, no. Actually, the way this works, it deals damage once. And then you can dash again if you hit somebody. But you don't do any damage. So he does the quick dash and lance with the thrust. So and then he dashes again without doing that, and then it's just single damage. Okay, that makes more sense. Cost is 50 up to 70, cooldown 12 seconds. Now he is an assassin, so this scaling's a bit low. I feel like 65%. Anyway, skilled strikes. Lancelot slams his shield into enemies in a small area in front of him, dealing damage and knocking them back. He follows up this attack with a sweep of his lance, dealing damage again and bonus damage to enemies that are further away. Shield damage is 50 up to 170 plus 45%. Lance damage 70 up to 270 plus 45%. Total 90. Bonus damage 15%. Cost 60 up to 80. 14 seconds. Deals bonus damage to enemies that are further. That's different. The only other ability that really works that way is Hachiman's 1. Believe the longer distance you hit somebody with autos while he's using that, they take more damage. Similarly, Lancelot's 2nd ability deals more damage to enemies further. It's cool. But the reasoning for that, of course, is if they're further away, they're not going to be hit by the shield. So you get this plus 15%. You do not get the shield damage on those enemies. Alright, here's Mount Up. Lancelot mounts onto his trusty steed, charging forwards with increased movement speed while on his horse. Lancelot gains a health shield and builds over time, and his abilities change. Movement speed is 20%. Initial health shield is 60 up to 140. Max health shield is 180 to 740. Gained over 4 seconds. Cost 30 to 50. Cooldown 14 seconds. And this splits into a multi-part ability like Morgan Le Fay's 1, sort of. With Shining Gallop, Lancelot sends off his horse to gallop ahead in a line as he dismounts. The horse fades away, allowing it to pass through walls, dealing damage and slowing enemies hit along the way, which is 80 up to 280 plus 70%. 30% soul for 2 seconds. Costs 60. No cooldown because it's the thing with mount up, so its cooldown is there. Once you pop it, then you don't get it again until mount up actually comes off of cooldown. Crashing dive, Lancelot surges forward off of his horse, rooting all enemies nearby before diving back down to deal damage to enemies in a larger area. Brute duration 0.5 seconds. Damage 90 up to 310 plus 90%. Cooldown 60, or cooldown 0 seconds, of course. Costs 60. And then Lancelot, quick turn. Lancelot turns quickly while mounted to face the opposite direction. Costs 30. Cooldown 4 seconds. So this one you can use multiple times while you're on the horse. These two you cannot, I'm pretty sure. You get them once, and then this thing goes on cooldown. Anyway, and then of course the ultimate ability, the Grand Joust. Lancelot rears up his horse as the large jousting list is created, crippling enemies in the area. Lancelot charges ahead, dealing damage to all enemies hit and refreshing his mounted health shield. Damage 260 up to 500 plus 120%. That is an assassin ultimate there. Cost is 80 to 100. Cooldown 90 seconds. Increases his health shield. So if you're already up on the horse, use this. And then you should still be on it, which means then you can go into these afterward. So that's kind of your combo. Is you Grand Joust, go in, turn around, bop bop, or use one of these. I think you only get to pick one of them because they both involve him getting off of the horse. So it's either or, I think. So that's the balance. They don't want you using both of these because that's more damage than his ultimate together, and that's not ideal balance. So there it is. And then that's the best part of this patch, because this patch kind of sucks. We'll get into why in a second. Anyway, here's all the recolors and then his thing, his masteries, Miss Keith Thanatos, that's for a special thing, but this is a really dumb looking skin, and that's probably the point, but yeah. And then all the rest of these, whatever. Nobody really cares. Except Burger Time is the best skin, obviously, in this patch, duh. This one's pretty silly. That'll be a fun one. Alright, update schedule, June 14th for roundtable, 28th for bonus. Quality of life, a bunch of stuff. There's going to be a matchmaking quality survey. Pretty simple. There's a bunch of stuff about Smite Night that I'm not going to read because I talked about the event already once. I don't need to read all this stuff. Yeah, this might be worth reading. Let's see. The God screens within the game client have been artistically updated to better match the rest of the client UI. New settings in the user interface section. Mute all players. Options are unmuted. Mute all. This will automatically mute all players on both your team and the enemy team. You won't need to mute them manually from the scoreboard. If you use this option to mute people, you will also need to use this setting to unmute. Okay. Show VGS of muted players. Oh. See, they caught on to the thing. When someone's typing like a maniac, you don't want to hear what they have to say. But if they are making useful VGS, then that might be important. Even though they're the people that will just spam you rock all game because they're toxic, but this isn't for them. So there's a bunch of bugs I'm not going to talk about. There's the persistent CC will now reapply if cleansed and the god remains in the area. There's only like, well, they only listed 20 abilities that this is actually applying to. So don't know that it really matters. There's more details about that. But the basic idea is that abilities that have a constant form of CC can be reapplied after your cleanse wears off. So if he beads 1 second or whatever, 1.5, however long it lasts, I don't remember. Once that's gone, then the CC will reapply. Not every ability is coded like that. For example, Anubis 3 has a slow, but it is a tick slow. So it applies every half second, which is not the same as a persistent crowd control. So if you cleanse his slow on his 3, it will continue to stay cleansed. If that makes sense. That's a lot. And that's why they only showed like a handful of abilities that are actually, that this actually applies to. Most do not function as a constant crowd control. Anyway, and a bunch of bug fixes here. Jesus. Here's the thing with Blackthorn Hammer. This is why this is bad. Here's the first bad thing in here. This item was intended to be buffed and not have, but that buff failed to make it to live servers given warrior performance. Since then, we were deciding to cancel this. Like, why? That's stupid. Oh, because, oh, we messed up. It didn't go live. Oh, but we're fine now with how warriors are. What? That's so dumb. I feel like they should have buffed it. That would have been fine. Because that's one item. So, anyway, here's some things with the Trebuchet's fishing issue where they'd stop scaling after 6 minutes. They now gain plus 150 HP every 2 minutes to a maximum of 20 stacks like they're supposed to. Increase movement speed from 250 to 280. Reduce cooldown between attacks from 5 to 4 seconds. Chalice offering shorten the delay before they can be picked up from 1.5 seconds. Can now be picked up by both teams when stolen from an obelisk. Now grants a 5% mana heal in addition to 15% movement speed for 10 seconds. Note, well, this is a big deal because you don't have to stand there and get it. You can kind of just grab it immediately after you've killed the little man. And now can be picked up both teams if stolen from an obelisk. Note, this does not mean that either team can pick up an initial one after you kill the buff and take it. This is only on stolen ones. And then towers, they finagled a little bit. The base power, they have all gone back to 30% pin, but the tier 1 has had its base power decreased. So it feels a little bit better early. The rest are being increased because usually you're not going to be contending with these until late in the game unless you're stupid and you're chasing somebody way too far. Anyway, they're going to say they're doing lighter balance so people have time to experiment and take in 9.5 changes. That's dumb because there's already things we're looking at that are bad that they're not going to do anything about right now because they think it's too early, but I disagree with that, with how everyone's been talking about hunters and how everyone's been playing hunters. You'd think there'd be a little bit to do here. And then the thing of mages have retained main team cons but struggle against mid lane hunters, blah, 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 help bridge the gap, we're doing things. Which their logic here is actually nonsense because they completely throw this in the garbage when we get deeper into the item updates. Basic attack assassins, blah, 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 have taken over the thing. Yeah, okay. So let's decrease the power of Morningstar. I mean, not that many assassins are actually building this, so fair. There's more Ulers building this. That's about it, really. Golden Blade increased costs, though, because of this up here. This Devourer's Gauntlet's being reverted slightly. Increase the base lifesteal from 10 to 15%, and then you get 10% more from the stack. Even though it started, okay, so we were at 30% before 9.5 bonus. 9.5 bonus goes down to 20 with the base here. And then this update, actually the base I think was the same. And then this update, we go back total to 5%, okay. So they're making it a better item while it's not stacked by giving it extra lifesteal, but after it's stacked, it's not as good as the old one was. So I don't know what the point of this was. Why didn't you just do that to, I don't know. There's weird things with the numbers with that, probably. Sands of Time. Remember the thing we said about mages. New passive in addition to current passive. Plus 10 bonus ability, true damage to minions in jungle camps. Just good for some mages, I guess. I mean, if you're Agni and you all 4 of your abilities do damage, hey. But do you know who else benefits from this? RDO does. And we remember how we didn't like that. She was getting played in solo like every game. Well, if anything, though, Conduit Gym is actually a bigger... Well, actually, this is better because RDO eventually can use 4 abilities. Like, before you're level 5, 4, whatever, you know, this is... Like, this is the better item, but after that, this probably is the better item. Although only certain mages really use as well. There are some guardians that can use Conduit Gym well, but that's pretty limited. This, I'm worried, is going to help gods that we had taken out of the meta or made less effective and put them back in. You know, Baron's going to obviously build this. No, he won't. Actually, no, because Bumbo's is technically a better item later. So, never mind what I said. But yeah, I guess this is fine. Hopefully it doesn't bring RDO back. And then the logic of mid laners may just struggle to perform against mid lane hunters. Let's buff items that mid lane hunters build. Huh? You're kidding me. Heavy Mace, 25 to 30 power. Warrior's Bane, 20 to 25. Titan's Bane, 45 to 55. 10 more power. When Uller and AMC are building these items, and then Crusher's power scaling on the passive damage is now 20% instead of 15. Why are we doing that, guys? Why aren't we nerfing Soul Eater? Why aren't we nerfing Wind Demon? Why aren't we looking at Atalanta's? Maybe a cost increase there. Same with Silver Branch. Why aren't we doing something like that? Why anything? Honestly, yes. Why aren't those items being looked at? The items that mid lane hunters and just other hunters normally are building when hunters are really strong right now. Why are you buffing items that... They're... Okay. Let's parse this for a second. The first thing is, yeah, they said the thing about auto attack assassins. They want to make ability assassins better. So they do this. But that's also going to make mid lane hunters better, which they already said mages struggle against. So you... this doesn't help, basically, is what I'm saying. But I don't really know how you do that, honestly. I mean, like, Fenrir's a good character, brutalizes ridiculous ability, but Kali's still going to be a better jungler than he is right now. Even though he would build, actually he wouldn't build these items, so I don't know what... Actually, what assassins are building these items that would benefit from this? I mean, they're not building Titan's Bane. You know what? Forget it. I just think this is bad strategy. Anyway, Yamoja's getting a nerf. Not surprised. She's been a very high pick ban rate, so... Riptide decrease ring duration from 6 to 3 seconds. Decrease slow on opponents from 20 to 10%. Reverse Rebuke. Decrease initial slow applied to enemies hit by the crashing waves from 90 to 60%. There you go. Baron's getting slight nerf. Decrease the missing health heal aspect of this ability from 10 to 7.5%. Because obviously this is really good right now since gods have a lot of health, especially the tanky ones. That's a big heal, man. So that's fair, I guess. Jingwei explosive bolts decrease damage per shot from 120 to 110% of her physical power. That's not enough of a nerf, guys. I need something else with this god. Built-in crit chance, all the stupid things. I hate this god. Please, it's cringe. Rat's getting buffed because he's been outside the meta for a bit. Decrease cooldown Acorn Blast from 15 to 14 to 12 seconds, scaling down. Through the Cosmos, increase physical power, scaling from 70 to 90%. That's a big one. And Robin also getting buffed. Increase the shield from his effectiveness passive from 5 to 7% of his maximum health per stack. Prone onslaught increase physical power scaling from 80 to 90%. 10-hand channel fist increase physical power scaling from 70 to 85, bro. Big time. And Odin Gungnir's might increase pulse damage from 25 to 105, 30 to 110. Increase Gungnir damage from 60 to 260 to 60 to 300. Big ones. And Freya's also getting a buff. Increase base bonus damage per shot from 20 to 60 to 35 to 75. This is a stable way, I think, to try to help her right now. So I think that's okay. We'll have to watch. Then Yu Huang getting a slight buff. Master of the Dao, decreased time it takes to passively gain Dao from 15 to 8 seconds. Dao cultivation, decreased cooldown from 13 seconds to 13 to 11 seconds. And note there is one hunter nerf in here, and it's this. This doesn't help. No Chernobog nerf, no EMC nerf, no Uller nerf. None of the other gods that are being played in solo alternatively now as hunters have been nerfed. And why are we not doing that? I don't know. This is really bad, man. Maybe the next update will be, but oh God, help. This is not good. They didn't address like anything, hardly. Nothing about this feels good. The only thing that feels good is the Rat and Robin buffs. And maybe this. I don't know. I mean, these are whatever changes. I don't really care about these. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm giving up. This is just a dumb patch. It's like, why are you even making this, guys? What's the point? What's the point? I mean, thanks, voice actors, but man, what? It's got to be the worst patch, and your best thing in it is just the god reveal, bro. That's usually how they work, but there was nothing redeeming about it. It's all bad. Is there anything else they didn't address in here besides that? There might need to be a Kali nerf, realistically, because that's kind of silly. That god is, let's be honest. So, yeah, they did very little to address current issues with the game. So, I'm not impressed. Like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed that. Leave a comment down below if you want. As always, check the links down in the description. And I'll see you guys next time for some more Smite. Have a good one.